back now with Marcel D'Acunha of The Beach Vault. And Marcel, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Now, you are one of my heroes. You are an entrepreneur who is doing a crowdfunding campaign. And what we like to learn is what activities are entrepreneurs doing today that are working in the digital age and in this economy. So tell me a little bit about your background, how you came up first with the Beach Vault, why you chose crowdfunding, and then why Kickstarter and how it's going. So just kind of give me the story. Tell me the Marcel story, but briefly, if you would.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think that we're entering into an era where people with great ideas, entrepreneurs, can reach a global audience through the web. Not only that, it takes a lot of capital, a lot of money to begin a project. And you know, the usual way you'd go about a project is coming up with a business plan, looking for investors, trying to raise some capital, maybe taking out a business loan. But crowdfunding has created a completely new dynamic to being able to get the funds you need to start with an idea. There's not a lot of risk involved. If you can just put the hard work together and really dedicate and commit yourself to the campaign, there's a whole lot of financial opportunity out there, and you're pretty much able to take pre-orders for your product, and if you're able to get the funds you need, you can start your idea.
Now, tell me a little bit about what you're doing to make it successful, because these campaigns don't happen by themselves. And the other thing I want to know about is, do you already have the product produced? Because it looked like you're starting to sell wholesale. So tell me a little bit about that and what you really need the funding for.
At this point, we have a working prototype, and that's where we are. We funded the prototype phase of the project. Right now, we're raising the funds to fund the tooling so we can mass produce the product. Everything's lined up. We already have our manufacturers lined up, our packaging. All we're waiting on is the funds to pay for the tooling and order our first production run of inventory. We were not thinking that we were going to get the volume of wholesale orders and distributors contacting us that we are. So that's why we're really starting to explore it, because we've been contacted by distributors and wholesalers from all over the world wanting huge shipments of this product when it's available. So that's a game changer. That changes everything. Where we were when we started this project 60 days ago was just raising enough funds to order a first shipment of inventory and try to get it out there to the people. What's really given us the exposure is the press and the media. That's all come through social media and Kickstarter. Pretty much I've been on my computer as much as possible, trying to reach out to social media viewers and press agencies. And that's where most of our funding's coming from. That's where most of our exposure's coming from.
You know, you mentioned something, Marcel, that's really important, because a lot of crowdfunding campaigners only see the tip of the iceberg. They don't see what's behind it. I think crowdfunding has actually become a misnomer. There's so many more benefits to crowdfunding than just the funding, the networking, the outreach that you do, and building the community. But one of the things that people don't see are the distributors and how much help they can be in the feedback that they can give you, because the distributors can help you to avoid mistakes after crowdfunding. And a lot of people, the distributors, they look for campaigns that show signs of life and are hot, but then they come in. But people don't realize how much the distributors can really help and how many of them are out there.
Yes, there's a lot of distributors, and what Kickstarter does is it brings the distributors to you rather than you trying to go find the distributors. You could spend a fortune on marketing campaigns and trying to send sales representatives to different parts of the world to try to get your product viewed and just taken a look at. And what Kickstarter has given us is the opportunity to just sit back and deal with so many distributors who are coming to us who have seen the product, and they just want the product already. It's eliminated a lot of marketing expenses.
Now, Kickstarter campaigns don't happen by themselves, though. You have to prime the pump and get things going, right?
Absolutely, it definitely does not happen by itself. In fact, this is our relaunch of our campaign. The first time around, we had a 45-day campaign, and we were reaching. Our goal was $15,000, and we didn't reach that goal, even though we were spending the entire 45 days on the computer, really trying to reach out to people, even going to some local business marketing groups. It really didn't catch on. When it catches on is when the media gets a hold of it, and when articles start getting produced, when you're doing YouTube videos. You know, there is a lot of work behind trying to get visibility online. And if anyone out there who's doing a campaign thinks that you can just come up with an idea, throw it up on Kickstarter, and you're automatically going to get the funds, unless it's the next best invention ever and everyone's going to see it without you even trying, you're most likely not going to reach your goal.
What you just said is absolutely true, but let me put this clarification on it. What a lot of people don't understand, I think, is that the type of work that you're doing for this Kickstarter campaign is the exact type of work you would do anyway if you already had a going business. That's what you have to do. You have to communicate, you have to do outreach, you have to promote. And I think in the digital age, it's more important than ever as everything is blending together. In fact, let me tell you a quick story. I was called into San Francisco by the editor of Yahoo News, which is a big brand name media. But he told me, if we don't optimize a story in our own paper, the difference in the audience size could be the difference between 50 viewers and 1 million viewers. So everybody, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're big media or the little guy, you have to optimize what you're doing. You have to optimize your campaign and even the press stories that people are doing. So tell me a little bit about how important the promotion is.
The promotion is everything. If people do not know that your project exists, they won't be able to back it and they won't be able to fund your campaign. So that's the highest priority, I believe, during a campaign, is the constant visibility. And, you know, even after people see an article that's released or they see your YouTube video, you know, you need to continually try to show your presence through different sources, through different outlets. You can't just let it show up one time and think that that's brilliant. You have to keep the momentum going. You have to keep the snowball rolling down the hill and keep building up on the media and on the press. And that's what we're trying our hardest to do right now. And from what we're seeing is that's where why we're being so successful only 3 days into our second campaign.
Okay, let me address this now. One thing that I think people don't understand about crowdfunding is that it's really about networking digitally, and that a crowdfunding campaign is kind of like a digital business card, networking and saying, here's who I am, here's what I can do, here's what I want to do, and if you'll support me, here's what I will do with the money. And it's about transparency, honesty, and you have to be very honest to do crowdfunding, because you have to put yourself out there and be vulnerable and say, hey, I could use your help. I'm a good guy. I got a business plan. I got a great product, but I still could use your help. What is the one thing or two things that you most need from this? Aside from the money, what would you most want to get out of this?
You know, the support and the encouragement, because, again, if you're someone small who just has a great idea and you're trying to make a product and you're trying to do it all by yourself, it's very difficult, and there's a lot of fear involved, there's a lot of fear of failure involved. you know, the support is incredibly helpful. We're getting a ton of support. Not only support, we're getting other engineers and people sharing their opinions and advice just for free, just because they believe in the project and they believe in us and they want to see us succeed. So I'm getting emails about design changes and concepts and different things that we can do with the product. And that alone is so appreciated and so helpful, in addition to the funding that comes through the campaign.
All right, very good. So tell me about what your future activities are from this point on. What are you going to do now? Well, let's say first, what have you done to date to make it happen specifically? And what are you planning on doing now to really bring it in? Because they say in the middle of a campaign, it kind of drops off the cliff. Nothing happens for a little while. But to me, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And that's when you really put in the most work, because that's what will really pay off at the end. So what are your plans for getting to the finish line?
I'm treating this campaign like a full-time, overtime job. All day, every day, I'm doing everything I can. I'm responding to emails that are coming in. Every minute, we're getting emails from distributors, from wholesalers, from people who are interested in just getting the product, from people's opinions, from press agencies. And what I'm trying to do is stay connected personally to every single email that we're getting. Every single message that comes through, I want to send with a personal, typed from the beginning email, thanking for the support and also answering any questions I can and explaining what we're going to do for our future. Also, at this point, with this product and the patent pending that we have on our design, you know, we're starting with a beach vault, the concept for the beach vault, and it's a product that's wanted, that's helpful. But we also have doors and opportunities open for a whole line of products that are going to be able to come out of this original crowdfunding campaign.
I realize that when you say beach vault, people are going to hear beach ball. So spell beach vault for people.
Sure. Beach vault, the vault is V-A-U-L-T, just like a safe, a vault that you'd find in a wall. The whole idea is to safely store your belongings beneath you while you're enjoying your time at the beach.
Okay, Marcel Ducoigno, did I get that right?
Dacunya, yes.
Okay, very good. Thanks for your help there. Creator and crowdfunder of the Beach Vault. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Thanks so much, Mike.
And continued success.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the exposure, the support, and just thank you for everything.
Great. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.